Well, as I was saying, I was fucking this bird, right? And it turns out I wasn't fucking it. I was just fisting it. And I was filling it full of stuffing. Because it was a turkey and it was Thanksgiving.
That's a stupid ass bird you caught right there.
You're a stupid ass bird. Look at that haircut. Boy. But welcome to our little one-off podcast episode where we're talking about our current FPS addiction.
MOBA addiction.
But it's not really a MOBA. It's more just a FPS.
I can consider it a MOBA.
Well, I mean,
it
is multiplayer. It is online. It is a battle arena. I guess you can consider it a MOBA. But then you would have to also call Call of Duty multiplayer a MOBA as well.
No, that's not true. It is a campaign mode.
So?
That's offline play.
So?
It's not a MOBA.
You can still do... Well, you can...
It's not a MOBA then. Either way, we're talking about...
Overwatch! Fuck your face.
Damn.
I thought we were saying things at the same time. I thought you were going to tell me that.
Overwatch it.
Okay, we're now going to be flagged for being racist.
What the fuck? It's called being a weeaboo.
No. We don't do that here.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't do that.
I wish there was a character in Overwatch who used tentacles.
No.
Yes.
No, because this is robots. If you want tentacles, go play a Battleborn.
I can get tentacles in Overwatch.
No, you can't.
We have a talking gorilla.
But that's a talking gorilla by science.
So we can have a talking octopus by science.
But that's stupid.
So is a talking gorilla.
No, it's not.
It's just a rip-off of Gorilla Grodd.
So? That's more sensible than a talking octopus.
Hey, you're just hating because tentacles are life. He can hold 8 different guns.
Oh. But because I do have that extra memory, we can now record 2 episodes of Army of Tentacles tonight.
Alright.
So if you're listening to that, get ready for more episodes of Army of Tentacles. We're currently we're where we left off at this point in time. We found that Red Ranger wannabe. Last time. Alright, but in this episode, we're going to be talking about our experiences and giving our feedback on the game itself and the characters themselves.
Overwatch!
And because I already announced what we're doing, you have to start us off.
That's not true. I started us off last time. You gotta start us off this time.
Who's the one that has to do the editing?
You don't edit the video.
Shh. Wait, no, I do. I had to put in the picture and I put in the audio and I have to make sure it syncs up.
That's not making sure you have to do much. We're still talking, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. First off, I'm gonna say Overwatch is a great-ass game.
It's fantastic.
Pre-order that shit if you haven't. It's on Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
If you haven't...
I'm not sure if they can play together yet.
No, they can't. There's no such thing as multi-platform or cross-platform playing on anything yet so far.
Rocket League.
I don't even think Rocket League has
No,
that.
it hasn't. Rocket League has cross-platform.
Well, I know Blizzard won't do that so far.
It might do it with something with
No,
Microsoft.
trust me. I know Blizzard. Blizzard will not do this.
We'll never know. I have to see in the distant future. Blizzard also isn't known for a lot of multi-platform releases, is it?
Yeah, it is. Diablo,
Diablo,
bitch.
who the fuck plays that shit?
Blizzard fans, bitch.
Makes sense. I'm not a Blizzard fan.
Blizzard flan?
I'm not a Blizzard fan.
Are you now?
Actually, that's not true.
Are you
Blizzard's a Dairy Queen?
Are you a subcategory of a Final Fantasy enemy?
No. I'm a friend.
You know that's also a Final Fantasy enemy, right?
That's a character too.
So?
It's a really awesome character who has the...
Anyways, we're getting off topic because today's episode is about
Overwatch.
And we're back. Something happened. We're not going to explain what just happened.
I had to wank off. To Tracer booty.
That's a lot. That's easier to explain than what actually did happen. But so we are talking about Overwatch. What has been your experience of the game so far, Jostar?
Okay, first off, fuck escort mode.
You know that's like half the game.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, I do.
that's only
deathmatch all the way.
Well, the only reason you hate escort mode was because you have no idea how to do it.
No, I ran into a bug, actually. And we all figured out that this is a bug. Luckily, it's a beta test, so we're supposed to find bugs. But basically, one of the maps, basically, it wouldn't move at all. We were on it, and it still wouldn't move, like, at all. We were literally, like, 2 feet away from where it needed to be. It killed everybody else, and it just stopped moving.
Are you sure there wasn't like a sentry hidden somewhere that you couldn't see it?
Yeah,
because even a symmetric turret sentry hidden will actually.
We weren't fighting any symmetras during the match. Surprisingly enough, because at this point everybody wants to be Symmetra.
But I mean, because of that, did you lose the game still?
Yeah, we lost that match.
Oh. Well, that was only one time it happened, right?
Yeah, it's only one time. But even still, I'm not a big fan of that mode. In general, yeah. I prefer just killing people for points.
Yeah. I do say it has to be the weakest, especially because if you're on the attacking team where you're moving it, then you pretty much just get like a Bastion, a
Mercy.
Bastion, Mercy, Symmetra, Reinhardt, the guy that puts down the turret, and pretty much anybody else that you want. Because then you can just make an unstoppable wall of bullets that you can't harm. Because you have Bastion and the turret and Symmetra sentries all around, covering the payload. You have Reinhardt protecting it from the front and being able to charge off any major threats. And then you just have your sixth person, which
soldier. Oh, so that healing field.
Oh.
He dropped that shit right on top of the payload.
And Mercy just increases Sentry Bastion's damage, which is already ridiculous. They need to be nerfing Bastion because
Bastion and Symmetra are going to get nerfed.
Yeah, because
Symmetra's turrets are going to get nerfed.
And Bastion, I mean, people might not think about Bastion, but let's just actually go into the character overview of Bastion real quick. Bastion, what he can do is he has a machine gun with a 20-shot round, right? He has an E ability of pressing as long as you hold it, he will heal himself over time, and you can stop it just by letting go of E. Hitting shift, however, puts you into a turret mode, which you cannot move, but your clip becomes 200 bullets. Now, the thing is that it's a Gatling gun turret, and it is so powerful that literally I went through 2 tanks and 2 regular offensive damagers without being hurt and without having to reload. It is just that good.
He's a fucking monster. For me,
plus he has 350 health, or 300 health overall, which does not help because you can't easily burst him down before he can burst you down. But you go ahead.
Yeah, for me, of course, my boy. I already knew I was gonna play him from the trailers alone, but my boy is Reaper. Me and him just synchronized. I love his looks. I love his gameplay. It's like this dude is literally walking around with 2 shotgun pistols.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga doesn't even take the time to reload. He just tosses his guns and pulls out new ones.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are praising Reaper and saying that he's one of the best characters, but I, for one, personally do not see him being as good as people are praising him.
That's because you haven't run into the shotgun masters. You gotta be a master of the shotgun. You gotta play Gears of War to play as Reaper, bro. That's how it feels. You know how everybody in Gears of War played Master Shotgun?
No, because I haven't played Gears of War.
Yeah.
You just said that.
But it's like you gotta play Gears of War because that's how when you have a good shotgun character like Reaper with mobility and intangibility temporarily and multi-shot, his ult is really good in a team, bro. And he's invincible during.
During what?
The ult.
No, it's not.
I haven't been killed while using it.
Because people say, I mean, you have a Reinhardt who literally can just pin you. A Reinhardt just charges and he can pin you down.
I haven't been stopped during my ult though.
But you can be stunned. The thing is that there aren't that many stuns in the game. You can't be frozen.
That just makes it that much better though. I'm not getting shot.
But I mean, the thing about Overwatch is that, well, people will compare it a lot to Team Fortress 2.
I haven't played that.
Well, it pretty much is similar to Overwatch, but the thing is that, while TF2 has your load of 9 characters, you have 21 characters, and pretty much you will always find a character that can counter another character at almost all times.
It's a balance thing, but it's also more like a rock, paper, scissors kind of deal.
Yeah,
because once you figure out who your opponents are, you can switch your hero in the middle of battle.
Yeah, I can already tell you right now that 2 of the biggest counters to Reaper are Reinhardt with his charge and his ultimate, which will knock you down. And then Mei, which people don't play as, but Mei will freeze you out of your ult.
Well, the thing is, the intangibility move could help you out with that.
But you can't do it during your ult.
I'm saying during my ult.
But I'm not
going to be doing my ult the whole time. I'm just saying.
That's not my point. You're trying to get around it by saying some bullshit.
No. But I'm saying, you say it's a counter. It's literally a counter for one move.
But it's a counter to his invulnerability.
Yeah, it's one move.
But
that works on every. When you say a pin, it's not technically a counter to him in particular. When it could be technically, it's a counter to almost everybody who isn't, going back in time.
But I mean, his invulnerability is also easy to get around with everybody because there is a 1 or 2 seconds where you're getting out of the invulnerability and you can't do anything, but you can still get hit.
Yeah. It's mostly, in all honesty, I feel like it's mostly used for turret or mind walking.
Yeah.
If you want to go kill a Widowmaker.
Yeah, but
you go behind that bitch in a trailer and be like.
I mean, I can see. I'm not saying that Reaper is a bad character. I just don't think he is as good as people are saying him. And I think people will realize that more as people start to wise up to what he can do and learn the timing to that invulnerability.
The thing is, Overwatch, unlike a lot of MMO type shooters or MOBA type games, Overwatch feels a lot like a shooter game. It feels just like an FPS to most players. So even with that being in the case, people with high first-person shooter skills are naturally going to be good at this game.
Well,
so that's why I see characters like Soldier being really good. I'm only saying Soldier, by the way, because I keep forgetting what the fucking number is.
Well, his name is Soldier 74. You don't need to say the 74 part. You just say Soldier, and you already have his name.
007 James Bond.
Well, that's because that's his code name. But we don't say 007 James Bond. We say he's either James Bond or 007. Yes.
Oh, shit.
Because you're a fucking idiot.
Are you ready for a black 007 James Bond?
You know we're not supposed to say anything about race here. Because
that's the new guy, Eldris Iba, or he's going to be playing James Bond.
I didn't know that they actually casted him finally.
I'm ready for that. Imagine if they put him in Overwatch. James Bond in Overwatch.
Oh, but did you see that?
Imagine, what if they put like characters from StarCraft in Overwatch? What if you could play as Kerrigan or something? Or Nova in Overwatch?
They're not going to do that.
I mean, it's a possibility.
I mean, they have references to two different Blizzard games with the little sprays that you can use. That took me forever to figure out that it's the T button to use the spray.
Yeah, how you can just put your own logo everywhere. Why would you pick a different skin from his first one?
I don't know. But did you see this?
Does he have red?
Yeah, blood. It's a blood skin. We're just looking at a Reaper. I just want to show him this one specific one that you get for getting the Origins.
I would never use that. He looks like a generic, Marvel villain.
Yeah.
From Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or some shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you that.
But yeah, Reaper is my dude. I love the way he feels. Another character though that I've really grown to like playing as was Diva.
Diva, yes.
And she's kind of overpowered in my opinion.
All right, now I don't actually think that we discuss what all Reaper can do. So let's just go into that, and then we can discuss what Diva can do. Reaper, if I remember correctly, has 250 health. What he has he dual wields like one-handed shotguns, and he does more damage up close as a shotgun normally does.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. That's what he does. And I guess his whole skill set is basically a mobility move set made to move him in to get kills.
One is a teleport that I honestly think is only for positioning in the beginning, because if you use that to get in or to get out, it takes too long.
Yeah.
But it's like a little teleport that can let him go up onto ledges and
no
such.
Tracer blink.
Yeah.
There's no grappling hook either.
Then his other ability is his invulnerability, which makes him invulnerable and be able to. He also gets a movement speed boost, I believe, but he cannot shoot.
Yeah, he kind of like floats.
Yeah. Then his ultimate is he just starts shooting randomly all around him.
Dog. The Matrix on your ass.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't remember correctly entirely, but because I haven't seen it all too often. But I believe when he uses it, you can actually see like the area of range that actually hits people in as well.
Yeah, just like with Diva's explosion, I noticed that you could see how big the explosion would be for that.
Yeah.
Granted, I always died from it.
Yeah, and I'll talk about that after we just discuss a little bit more about Diva. Diva is a pretty unique character because Diva she starts off in a mech with 500 health, which has an energy shield that prevents attacks for a little while in front of her, but she cannot shoot while doing it. She has a twin mount. She pretty much has Gatling guns on her thing. And you can use the shift to be able to briefly fly around at a pretty high speed, which is pretty fantastic for getting away, closing in, and being able to use her ult. Which, when you use her ult, or she loses her 500 health, then she is ejected from her mech. In the case of using her ult, it will actually explode soon, dealing a huge amount of damage.
It usually kills in one hit.
Yes.
To be honest.
But she is then reduced to a 150 health with a 20-shot blaster, I believe.
Yeah, and it's pretty weak.
Yeah, it's a pretty weak blaster, but then you just get
She's mobile as hell, though.
Yeah. So the thing is that my biggest pet peeve about her is that with her ult is kind of easy to get yourself killed because she is not fast enough after I don't think she's fast enough. Like, if you make one wrong turn or run into a wall by accident, then you're not going to be able to get out of the explosion range. And Diva has one of the only 2 ults in the game that can actually kill your own character. It won't harm your teammates, but it will kill yourself and your opponents.
Tracer being the other one.
Yes.
And talking about Tracer, most people online cannot use her at all.
Yes. One problem that I think we are thinking that it's come to is because they saw the gameplay trailer for Tracer and they saw her come back to life and start killing people with what they thought was a recall. But while she did die in the trailer, it was her being revived from an allied Mercy. So it just kind of.
It was just bad timing.
Well, no.
Use that particular scene.
I think it was either bad timing or it was just misdirection on their part. Like, it could have been something that was available before that they got rid of, maybe, as well.
The real question, though, is if she did the revive, what was the point in the recall?
To get back in place. To show that it probably still did it, that she still went back in place even after she was revived.
That makes sense. Yeah, when I first picked her up, I figured out the hard way that she's not coming back to life with her.
Yeah, but she is definitely a character that is
mobile and weak. She's speedy and weak.
Yeah, she has the lowest health pool of the entire game with 150. She has very fast shots, but with a 40 bullets, but they go by really fast and they barely do too much, actually. Like, she could probably burst down another Tracer or a character that has about 200 HP, but other than that, she can't really do much.
Tracer gets raped by Reaper.
Yeah, she has a blink which can be used to chase or just get around or just get out of situations. But I do think that it was that they were showing off like some high skilled moves that it would require some practice to do that people thought they could do off the bat.
Yeah.
But like seeing
some FPS masters will do that shit, but you already know if you're a true FPS warrior, you're gonna pick Soldier.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
He's kind of fucking cheap.
He is almost pretty much a Black Ops character. His shift ability.
Basically.
His shift ability is called Sprint, in which is pretty much you hit shift to toggle it on, and you move faster, and then you can toggle it off. Like, it doesn't have like a cooldown or a duration. It's just a toggle. He is able to.
You already know that means most people are gonna have it on at all times.
He's going to put down. He can put down a healing field that will not only heal himself but others around him. He has a right click which pretty much shoots off a three energy grenades, which is very powerful. I actually got. I remember
he bursted a whole team that way.
Yeah, like I believe it does at least 100 damage to a character. So it's pretty powerful. His rifle is pretty strong as well. I don't remember.
With decent range as well.
Yes, and his ultimate makes it so you pretty much have an aimbot as long as a character is near your reticle, you'll be shooting at them with his ultimate on. But I mean, it's not that great, but I mean, at the same time, it can be good against highly mobile targets like a Tracer, even though she will probably die from a single
attack. Yeah. It's like Tracers are easy kills. She might as well give you as many points as killing that little stupid frog thing in Heroes of the Storm.
You mean Murky?
Yeah. Because, like, seriously, she's literally that weak. In all honesty, I really wanted to play her because I liked her, but I'm not gonna play her because she doesn't fit my playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not running around often and having to use 2 clips to kill a person. That's not me. That's why I like Reaper. Because, one, I always somehow end up in a nigga's face. Somehow.
We can't say that word.
I can.
No. We're not allowed to say it online.
Oh, really? Who told you that?
Well, it's supposed to be like general rules, but fuck it.
Everybody does it, though. All the black YouTubers.
But we're not black.
But I'm Asian. So
am I, but that doesn't matter. I'm not really Asian. I'm a race. But
when I'm allowed to say nigga, you guys can say chimichurri.
What? Okay. Anyway. Let's see.
I always end up running into somebody's face. I turn a corner and somebody's in my face, and I have twitchy triggers.
You're turning this into the Reaper show. We're supposed to be talking about all the characters.
That's because Reaper is a boss. Plus, he looks so cool. He's one of the coolest looking characters in the game.
In your opinion. All right. Anyways,
you know he looks cool.
Well, let's actually talk about the support characters because there's only 4 support characters. Starting off with
Mercy, right? Because that's the one everyone knows.
Yeah, we can start. Let's start with Mercy. Then we'll do Zendaya. Then
you see me. I haven't played any of the support characters except Mercy.
All right, I'll talk mostly about the support characters. Then you can. So Mercy is a pretty much, I guess, is best described as a TF2 medic, but can actually fight. Because she has 2 weapons that you can switch between. One is a rod that can either heal or amplify damage, depending on if you use your left button or right button. You can then switch to a pistol, which is not the weakest, but it is fairly strong.
It's stronger than Tracer. I'm not trying to throw shade at her, by the way. I love her, but she's kind of...
You're throwing shade because she's weak. You're throwing shade, bro.
Yeah, she's kind of weak.
Then Mercy can also she has a shift ability of being able to glide over to somebody, which actually is very interesting because as long as you have them targeted, you can even glide up onto a ledge as well. I don't remember if she had an E ability at this point.
I just call it dashing, honestly.
Yeah, I don't remember if she actually has an E ability, but she has the ultimate of she can resurrect any allies that are dead within a general range of her.
Okay, if you get fucked up in a team fight, she got you, fam.
Yeah, but the biggest problem about Mercy is that she is best played with a team of people because I have played...
Team of people you know.
And can actually communicate with, because I have played as a Mercy and resurrected people and have just seen them stand there thinking that they are waiting to be respawned only to die again. Like, they literally... How do you
not notice that you're still alive?
Because when somebody dies, usually they'll sit back and take a breather and then get back to the game. I've seen it. I do it sometimes.
Me, I'm holding the controller, so
yeah,
I never put down the controller when I die in a game.
Yeah. Next, is actually the one character that I know the least about. Goes by the name of Zendaya. It's a robotic monk guy.
I wanted to try him, in all honesty. I thought he looked pretty cool in the trailers with those little psychic goggles.
Not Zendaya, it's Zenyatta. My bad. Zenyatta. Alright, so, he has
the Ashura mode, right?
Yeah, pretty much, what he looks like is just like a robotic monk with orbs floating around his neck, almost like a rosary chain. And he's almost always cross-legged while floating in mid-air. Because... Alright, so he has three different orbs. He has his rapid-firing orbs that he can do for his normal deck. You can hit for his left button. For the right button, you can hold it and charge up orbs to do a heavier attack. You can use Orb of Harmony to cast an orb over the shoulder of a targeted ally. I'm reading off the wiki. So long as Zenyatta remains alive, the orb slowly restores health to his ally. Only one ally can receive the orb's benefit at a time. And then, to contrast the Orb of Harmony, he has the Orb of Discord, which does kind of the same thing. It attaches to an enemy instead to increase the damage taken. But it cannot target enemies behind Reinhardt's shield or Zenya's shield. But we'll talk about those guys a little bit longer. Then his ultimate ability is Transcendence. Pretty much for a brief time he is invulnerable, and becomes like a healing beacon which heals all the allies around him.
100 per second.
Yes, 100 health per second.
You're not dying.
Yes. But here's the thing, he can still be pushed back. So you can push him back away from his allies with the fourth support that we're going to talk about. But first we're going to talk about the character that a lot of people have been starting to pick up that I liked on my own without...
Symmetra.
Yes. I liked her a lot because I do enjoy putting down turrets.
I thought it was cool that she had ethnicity.
Yeah. Now, what Symmetra can do is... Her basic attack is pretty much a little pulse.
Sure, that's what she can do. Yeah, I'm casting shade.
I actually want to make sure that I get the name of what her gun is. I completely misspelled her name, but alright. It's called a photon projector. If you click and hit the left mouse button, then it will emit a short-range beam that, as long as it's damaging for someone, it slowly deals more damage over time.
I was wondering when that was going.
Or you can hold down the right button to charge up a orb that will go forward. It will go through enemies, but it will do about half or it does a good amount of damage. One of the one of the two abilities that makes her good support is the Photon Shield, which gives an ally a permanent shield as long as they're alive for 25 health, which isn't much, but considering that shields recharge.
Helping Tracer.
Yeah, as long as a character has shields, it will be able to be restored. They can't give more than 25 shields, so I think that she shouldn't be a bit debuffed in the offensive, but buffed in defensive. Like have the shield be able to be a bit higher than it is. But one thing that people have taken advantage of are her sentry turrets, which is a small turret that automatically fires speed-reducing blasts at the nearest enemy within range, and several turrets can be built on the battlefield at once, which is a maximum of 6. Now, the thing that I found out the thing that I like most about these turrets is that you can put these turrets on walls, and when I found that out, I would find like the main areas an enemy would walk through, and put them like just out of sight, but still close enough so that as soon as they like enter the doorway, they would be blasted by them. And I remember putting 6 on one doorway, and like it immediately killed a Tracer, like almost immediately. She stood no chance. And her ultimate
should have recalled, man.
Her ultimate is a teleporter, which she puts down this little teleporter beacon, and a second one gets set up in your spawn base, and whenever someone dies, they can use that teleporter to get right back into the action, and it's either goes away after 6 charges, or if you go through an objective, then when you get changed to a new base, then you get refunded on that teleporter if it's still alive. Now, last but not least, is possibly the best character in Overwatch right now.
The best character?
Yes.
I wouldn't put a best character symbol on anybody.
Well, okay, well, not best character, but probably one of the most overpowered, I would say, then.
But maybe you mean he's going to get nerfed?
Yes. He goes by the name of Lucio. Or Lucio. He is a support hero who...
it's the black guy.
He is a black guy with a dubstep gun. He has a passive ability to jump onto a wall and ride along it when you jump onto it.
He's on the roller skates, right?
Yeah, he wears roller skates. He has a sonic amplifier that he can use to shoot, which either does like a short burst of 4 rounds or can consume 4 ammo to emit a blast that pushes enemies back. Then, his thing about being a support is that he can either give people a speed buff or a healing buff to those around him. And then he has an ability that boosts the effect of those songs.
Oh, damn.
So pretty much, if you are going into an assault mode with your team, you go in with the speed buff and you amp it so that they all can charge in as fast as they can. Then when you get into a team fight, you give him the heal. He switches to healing, and then he's healing for an immense amount. And then his ultimate is he gives out a lot extra. He gives out a huge shield. Now let me just give you these stats. On regular, his heal is about 25 health per second, right? And the speed buff is plus 30% plus 30%. All right. Now you use the amp it up, which is the bonus effect. The healing becomes 120 health per 3 seconds.
Fuck this guy and his Jeff the Killer ass.
And his amp it up becomes 110% increase. And his ultimate gives a 500 health shield.
Tracer!
500 health.
Tracer support.
That lasts 6 seconds. You use that in the middle of a team fight.
Give it to your tank.
No, it doesn't give it to somebody. It gives it to every ally around you that's being affected by your current song.
Team fight. Team fight.
No,
Team fight.
here's the thing. I saw a video of of a group that went 6 Lucios. They all went healing. They would not die. When they were getting low, they used amp it up. They were getting healed for 120 per second, so that's 40 health per second times 6. They were getting full healed every second because of that amp it up.
That is pretty crazy.
And then with their ultimate, that's 3,000 health.
That is crazy, yeah, for support. I still don't consider him the best in the game for that.
Yeah, I did go a little bit overboard by saying he is the best, but he is definitely a top tier.
He's a top tier.
And
clearly the best support. That's a no-brainer.
I mean, you can have...
He's a top tier.
I mean, if you are ever going low, you need your support person that's like... You're probably... If you're
3,000 HP, that's like, goddamn.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you're ever doing in like a professional team, then you can always...
have a Lucio.
Yeah, well, you're always going to want to have a dedicated support character, but you want to have him be able to know one character for defense, and then one character, and then be able to know Lucio. At this point, it's pretty much if you're a support person, you use Lucio for attack so that you can be able to rush towards the payload faster, and then you use Symmetra for defense as well to prevent them from getting to the payload.
Yeah, so basically
the objective.
When it comes to support, the support characters are no slouches in this game. This game gave equality to those support characters, so where they can actually pack a massive punch. I've seen a lot of Symmetras take leaderboards hard with their turrets, scoring like 57 kills in a match.
Yeah, I actually have, at playing as Symmetra, I believe I have played about 8 games total with her as Symmetra, and half those games I have gotten the most amount of kills on my team.
And it's like, those turrets, they're insane, and people don't see them coming.
But I mean, turrets in general are insane as well.
When it comes to other games, though, you can't stick them on the walls.
Yeah, but this is Overwatch.
I'm saying, like, that's what makes them easier to deal with than other shooters. In this game, it's just like, they say, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Need a nigga with an EMP. So who we got next we got to talk about?
Alright, we went through supports. Let's go through tanks. We talked about D.Va. Let's move on to Reinhardt. Reinhardt is a tank that is I would say, well, he does do a good amount of damage.
Real quick. There were 5 sections or 4 sections of character type, right?
Yes.
So we should pick a top 2 for each section.
Symmetra and Lucio for support.
Lucio, then Symmetra. In that order.
Definitely.
Pretty much. That's a no-brainer. This one might be a little bit tougher, though.
Well, I've already seen an official tier list, and I already know the 2 top for tanks.
Reinhardt and
Winston.
I knew it.
All right, but
knock you off the cliff, Winston.
Yeah. All right, now the thing is about Reinhardt is that he actually does not. His basic ability is not his ranged ability. He has a ranged ability, but it has a 6-second cooldown. His basic attacks are pretty much just melee attacks, but they have a huge arc.
AKA this nigga is Thor.
Yeah, but the thing that makes up for not having that range is that he has, when you hold down his the right mouse button, you create a barrier field, which pretty much has its own health pool of about 2,000 that prevents any damage coming from in front of you. They can still walk through it. That I of course keep forgetting sometimes when I play as Reinhardt, but it is a pretty powerful shield for pushing forward to an objective. If you use his shift ability, he has a charge, which he is charging in a he charges straight forward with you able to maneuver left and right a little bit. And the first enemy he comes in contact with directly, he will grab onto and continue pulling with them. If you hit somebody on your side, then it will knock them back some. Or if you're holding somebody and you hit somebody else, then it'll knock them back as well. But when you hit a wall while carrying somebody, a lot of times it will almost instantly kill them, which is honestly kind of hilarious.
He's a charger, bro. Boom!
That's probably why I don't have much trouble with Reapers, because I always grab him first. Because he's always in front. The Reaper always comes in front.
He has to be in front. That's how he's gonna get the kills.
Exactly. So I charge him first.
Better hope he put on an invincibility in time.
Yeah. So his the ranged ability, which is like a 6-second cooldown, is called a fire strike, which is pretty much he swings his hammer down and he just releases a flame shot that is fairly big actually, and it does a decent amount of damage. It does 100 damage actually. His rocket hammer actually does 75 damage per swing, so that isn't too bad. That
must
isn't
be a
bad.
slow swing.
It's not that slow. I mean, it's
maybe like every 2 seconds swing. 1.5.
No, it's 1 swing per second.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, 1 swing per second.
He's killing Tracer in like 2-3 hits.
It's 2 hits because she has 150 health.
He's literally dropping her straight up.
Yeah, looking at the charge, its initial hit is 50. The pin is 300 damage.
He's killing everybody in 1 hit.
No, not another tank that we'll talk about in just a moment. But his ultimate ability is Earth Shatter. He literally lifts his hammer up and he smashes it on the ground so hard that everyone in a cone in front of him just falls down. Which is hilarious because I remember getting a play of the game where I charged somebody, killed them, was in the middle of the group, used that, and then I just swung my hammer and just started killing like 3 people that were grouped together when they fell down. It was fantastic. But yeah, one of the few characters that he cannot kill other than himself because he has a health pool of 500 is a guy that goes by the name of Roadhog.
Oh, fuck this guy.
He is a giant man. His quote, one of his better known quotes is, "I am a one-man apocalypse." Which
he has Peter Porker on his belly.
Yes. Now you see, Reinhardt has 300 health and 200 armor, right?
600.
But Roadhog has 600 health, pure, not with armor. It's purely 600 health. His main gun is a scrap gun, which using a left click is a close range, or using a right click becomes a little shrapnel ball that detonates to make it into a mid-range gun.
With shrapnel, so basically it's an area of effect gun. It's like a further shotgun.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Then he has an E ability of Take a Breather, which restores how much? It heals half his health. So 300 health, which is pretty great because it's 1 second duration.
Cooldown 8 seconds.
It's not that bad. It's honestly not that bad. Then he has a chain hook to hurl a chain at a target and pull them to you, which also stuns you, by the way.
Ready for that shotgun blast.
So chain hook, it actually stuns as well. So it actually will, if you get hit, if a Reaper gets hit by that in the middle of his ult, then his ult is ended as well. So you Reaper players want to be able to look out for Roadhogs.
Reaper. My thing with Reaper though is he's good against tanks if you know how to keep yourself out of the.
Well, the thing is that because Roadhog is also the biggest.
600 health though. Fuck him.
But he is the biggest character in the game. But because you're using a shotgun, when you get up close, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage because he's going to take pretty much every single bullet of that blast.
However, Reaper does shoot fast too, though.
Yeah, but the way that Roadhog can also get around that from that close range is with his ultimate ability called Whole Hog. He pretty much pours ammo into his regular gun, and it becomes a wide, like almost 120-degree cone in front of him, where he's just spraying bullets for 6 seconds, but every stream that he lets out will knock you back.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's kind of cheap for anybody coming out of the front. It's like, if you want to fight him, you got to take him from the back.
Yeah.
Straight up. You have to take him from the back.
You cannot let him see you, and you have to hope that he's not with a team, because he just chain hooks you, pulls you in, he's gonna take all your shots while him and his teammates just burst you down. Like that's pretty much.
He'll probably kill you himself.
He also doesn't do too much damage. I mean, look, his regular scrap gun does about 4 to 9 does 9 times 25 damage at most. So take a quick calculator.
Did you say 9 times 25?
Yeah.
And you said he doesn't do that much?
Well, they're very spread out. That's okay. It's 225.
He could literally kill somebody in one hit up close with his basic.
Yeah. Then his scrap gun does 50 damage. But I mean, the scrap gun, the alt fire does 50 damage, but the scrap gun has a very wide range from just even the beginning.
I feel like it's good for hitting people around corners.
No, I guess I can see that. I actually want to take a quick look at a few other stats. We talked about Diva, we talked about Reaper and Tracer. I just want to see.
Go over them real quick.
We already talked about abilities, but stats wise, 8 pellets per shot with a fire rate of 7 rounds per second with 3 damage per pellet.
It says originally 0.5.
Yeah, well, 0.523.
I guess that might depend on distance.
Yeah. So if we just do that, we'll do 3 times 8. So that's 24 damage per round, and she has 7 rounds per second. So that's a total of 168 damage per second.
And that's
her self-destruct is indeed a one-hit kill on everything because it does 1,000 damage.
That's what I was serious. It killed me in one hit. I was like, this is
the only person that can survive that is a Roadhog with Lucio's shield boost. Yeah. That's the only person that can survive that.
He survived with 100 HP.
Oh, her light gun isn't actually that bad now that I look about it. The fire rate is 6.66 rounds per second with 14 damage. So if we just at least do 14 times 6, that's 84 damage. That isn't too bad.
84 per second?
Yeah, 84 damage per second. I mean, it's not that good compared to everyone else, but it's not bad.
Get on my boy.
Let's look at Tracer first.
Okay.
All right, her pulse pistol, she pretty much empties her gun in a single second with 6 damage at most.
1.5 is the average though. Most people will probably average about 3 damage, depending on the distance for which they use Tracer.
So she can either do 240 damage per second or 60 damage per second.
AKA not killing anything. Not even herself.
Yeah, but her pulse bomb, which can kill herself, it does do 400 damage. So the thing is that her main damage output is not her pistol. The pistol is to build up her ultimate gauge.
Yeah,
and then
she's pulse bomb spams.
Yeah, that's pretty much a Tracer in a nutshell, I guess.
Tracer in a nutshell.
Reaper.
Did we miss one of his abilities?
The reaping, his passive, of course. Whenever you kill an enemy, they drop a soul globe, and you pick up that soul globe, and you restore health, which is 50 HP.
That's actually pretty good. That's lit.
Now his shotguns do two rounds per second, do 2 to 7 damage per second per shot. So 20 times 7. So that's about 280 at most damage to 80 damage per second.
Yeah.
That's actually almost on the same thing as Tracer, just a little bit better.
Well, when we're talking about up close, though, however, the 280 per second, in 2 seconds, most people are dead.
But I mean, the same thing is with Tracer.
No,
that was 240.
The thing is, on average, most people with Tracer are going to end up in the 1.5 to 3 range. Most people who use Reaper are going to end up in the 6 or 7 range.
Fair enough. His Death Blossom does a total of 600 damage. I guess it's spread out around.
I guess that means he could kill everybody with it.
I mean, I don't know if that's like 600 damage total or if it's
all of them.
Yeah, it doesn't specify exactly, does it? Oh yeah, one of the deadliest ultimates in the game. So yeah, it's just dealing 600 damage. Like he can't. Like, it might not even show that it's directly shooting at you, but you're still going to be getting hit as long as you're around
That's
him.
bullshit.
But I mean,
that's one of the deadliest ultimates in the game.
Yeah. But I mean,
but
to be fair, that's one of the only few things that he's got going for him, and it's his ultimate. I mean, saying that he's good almost makes Tracer look good as well in comparison.
That's not entirely true, like I said, because again, his mobility helps. Tracer's mobility doesn't help because the way people use Tracer, they have to use her far away, which gives her the least amount of damage output.
Well, you don't.
Most people, I'm saying.
The thing is, you don't have to. You just need to learn.
But the thing is, with Tracer, she's gonna get hit. She's
gonna
die.
The thing is, as Tracer, you just need to practice with her. Reaper, you can pick up easily.
Yes, Reaper is the. If you play Gears of War, you go to that character.
All right.
That's Reaper. Oh, McCree was really good.
Oh yeah, but we're still we gotta go back to our tanks. Tank number 2, we got Winston. Alright, so he's got a Tesla cannon. It's a short-range electric barrage as long as he holds down the trigger. But the thing about the Tesla cannon is that it, as like a usual Tesla coil will do, it will hit multiple targets as long as they're still in range of his blast. Yes. He has a shift ability of a jump pack where he will jump forward and leap pretty high and pretty far forward, and it will deal damage and stagger opponents if he lands near them.
How much HP does he have?
He has a total of 500. 400 health and 100 armor. So He's a pretty decent tank. One thing that makes him another good tank is his bear projector, which is because it's almost similar to Reinhardt's shield, but it's only a duration instead of having a health pool, where it absorbs damage until it's destroyed. But to destroy it, you have to destroy the actual projector itself instead of the actual barrier. Allies protected by the shield can return fire from within it as well.
Yeah, so it makes
it perfect for defending an objective because you just gather around in the middle and you just shoot around you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
circle.
Frankly, it can also actually go well with Reaper.
Yeah.
Because you put Reaper in the middle, he can't get out of because you can't shoot into it, but he's shooting you out of it while you're trying to go destroy that generator.
600 damage Death Blossom. Your ass is dead.
Yeah,
Which one of the characters helps you? Isn't there a character that boosts your ultimate? Like boost your ultimate gauge to help you fill your ultimate faster?
I don't think so. I will need to double check. But his ultimate is a primal range. He gains an extra 500 maximum health, but he
1,100 total HP or 1,000 HP total.
1,000 HP total.
So technically, he would have the highest if he went with Lucio.
Yes, but he only can. But in this state, it lasts for 10 seconds. But he can only use his leap. And he can only punch things. But when he punches things, they go flying. They go flying very far. Yeah, he's also one of what makes now. We'll talk about the best tank after we look at the last one, who goes by the name of Zarya.
I like her more personally.
So her passive ability is. Damage blocked increases her particle cannon or her regular cannon's damage, usually, or her just regular gun. So she can either unleash a short-range beam of destructive energy, or she can lob an explosive charge to strike multiple opponents with the left and right buttons. Her particle barrier will give her a personal barrier to shield her against incoming attacks, and with the passive, it redirects her energy to enhance her weapon's damage and the width of its beam. Projective barrier, however, is very similar to the particle barrier, but it gives an ally a similar shield, but it just lasts for 2 seconds less. But it still has the same effect of also enhancing her beam. And her last ability, which actually does very good if you can time it right with a few other abilities, is Graviton Surge. So it's another thing that can go well with Death Blossom, May's ultimate that we'll go into. pretty much any big AOE attack will do perfect.
Don't you want some of that Death Blossom, Alex?
The Graviton Surge, it deals 22 damage, so it's not that good or not that powerful, but it is very good for positioning. The
barriers at 200.
Yeah. Well, the durations are only 2 seconds each, but they absorb for 200, so they're more on the fly.
Yeah, they're just burst barriers.
Yeah, I would say that that 2 seconds is just too short of a time, especially because she will get stronger.
Technically, a total of 4.
Like well, no, because she can't shield herself. I mean, one shields her, one shields an ally. She can't choose.
Yeah, true, but
I mean, I would say
2 seconds can protect her from an ult
for 200 damage. But
yeah,
I mean,
so
her health pool is her health pool is 400. She's gonna die to Reaper.
Yeah, definitely. That's my nigga.
All right, but
Reaper drops souls, man.
Yeah.
Notice how some of these characters don't have passives.
Yeah, but some of them don't really need passives.
I mean, passives are just cool in my opinion.
Yeah. But now that's all the tanks. Now
Alright, so our ranking for the tanks, I would have to say, for me, I'm gonna have to for first place. I'm probably gonna have to
say
go
like
with
first
Diva.
place. Just go with just say the 2 ones that you like the most.
Think the best. Okay.
Yes. Just hit 2 of the 5.
Okay, support Lucio and Symmetra. For tank, I'm gonna have to go with Diva and Winston.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I do like Diva, but I'm gonna have to go with Reinhardt and Winston just because Reinhardt Reinhardt feels a lot like a paladin character, and I am very biased against.
I mean, my thing about Diva though is she's guaranteed going to kill.
A
large group of people.
Only if she can get off their ult and they don't notice it.
I mean, like, most people who don't have the time to get away from it unless you got Lucio speed boosting everybody out the area.
Yeah, but then again, Diva is also going to die to it as well.
I've seen some Divas survive it.
I've seen
because they just ran away.
Most of the Divas I see will still try to run away, but will still get killed in a blast.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's 1 for 5
on or 1 for 6 on best. On worst, 1 for nothing.
Dude, if you got yourself killed and didn't kill anybody with Diva, stop playing her.
Oh yeah, Bastion. We're
going into defense.
Yeah, we're going to look at defense.
What makes defense different from tank?
Defense is for defensive positions.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, the defense are people that you want to use to help protect an area. Offense is what you want to use to assault an area.
McCree!
Actually, take a look at thing. All right, so his sentry does 30 rounds per second, damage of 15.
Wait, we just skipped his abilities?
We already talked about him. We're looking.
Who are we looking at right now?
Bastion.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So
screw him.
He does.
Fuck this nigga.
And yeah. So what I was saying about
1 second.
450, he can do at most 450 damage in 1 second in his sentry position. At the least 120, which almost wipes out a tracer, anyways.
2 seconds. That's all it takes. He's
actually
killing everybody.
Also need to double check on Mercy. How much does she plus 30% damage? Plus 30% damage, 450
times 0.3, right?
Yeah, 1.3.
Yeah, 1.3.
That's 585 damage. That wipes out everybody except for Roadhog in 1 second.
Winston in his beast form.
Yeah, Winston's beast, but then that's an extra second. I mean, he has 200 rounds. This is 30 rounds per second.
This dude he's disgusting.
Yes, he is one of the best defense characters in the entire game. I think people should be considering him
a tank. How is he not a tank?
Because his health isn't that well. He has 300 health. Plus, the only thing defensive he has about him for abilities is his being able to heal himself.
You see, Mei, that's who I like.
Yeah,
I like Mei.
Let's talk about Mei.
Ice Queen.
Yeah, Mei is actually probably one of the most recently released because I actually had not been paying attention to Overwatch until I heard about Mei. Mei, Junkrat, and Roadhog are the only 3 characters that I've actually seen their announcements for ever since I've heard about Overwatch as well. So her normal blaster,
her Mega Man look.
Her normal gun is does a short range of frost that slows, and if it keeps hitting them for a short time, then it will freeze them in place. However, you can also use its alternate fire to release an icicle at somebody.
I'm so lame.
All right. I'm so lame. She has an ability which will allow her to surround herself in a block of ice and heal while ignoring damage, but basically, she cannot move
better
or use.
Than Sub-Zero.
Okay. Then something that's very interesting for getting around the map and for defensive maneuvers is the ice wall. To generate an enormous ice wall that obstructs line of sight, stops movement, and blocks attacks. But it can also be used underneath like an ally or an enemy's feet, and it will help them boost up.
Basically, if you want to play as her, yet again, you need to be playing with friends because y'all need to be talking.
Especially because with her ult...
Actually, y'all need to practice too.
Yeah, her ult as well. She deploys a drone to emit gusts of wind and snow in a wide area. If they're caught in the blizzard, they are slowed and they take damage. And if they linger for too long, they are frozen solid. So it's pretty much her normal blaster, but I think it does more damage.
And then Reinhardt comes by and just breaks in.
Yeah. But yeah, she is definitely a cooperative character. Like, a lot of people need to be able to work with her. So Endothermic Blaster does about 45 damage per second. Icicle does up to 75 damage. So the thing is that she's not a damaging character. She is almost more support, I would say, but at the same time, she's still very defensive because
she's a defense character.
She helps hold a position and be able to help, but while still helping her allies.
Yeah, because I don't see her as a buffer. I see her more of like a Soraka support type character. You know, like how Soraka turns the enemies into butterflies so you can kill them better.
That's Lulu.
Oh wait, fail, wrong person.
Yeah, don't let's not talk about other MOBAs.
My bad.
All right, next let's look at Hanzo,
the ultimate sniper.
Yes, compared to Widowmaker, which we will actually look at next, so that we can compare their sniping abilities as well. So he has a passive of being able to jump at walls to climb up them, kind of similar to Lucio's, I believe. His regular attack is knocking an arrow, and he lets it fly. It takes a little while for it to fully charge, but you can still just like instantly let it go. Sonic Arrow, which
has an arc, by the way.
Yeah, it also has a...
So it can go over cover.
Yes, but only slight cover. It can't go for too far.
Yeah, true. But anybody with a good shot will make it go over.
All right, so the Sonic Arrow, it actually does the same. It's pretty much the same thing as his regular attack. But when it hits, it starts emitting a small field that will show you the location of enemies. His Scatter Arrow, it will shoot an arrow that will release several other arrows that just bounce around. So if you're playing on a map that's like indoors,
I've seen people kill a lot of people with that.
Scatter Arrow is very perfect. It's almost a perfect use for close range combat when they're like in a small room. Because maps can be either big outdoors or being fought in smaller rooms, and that is a perfect ability. Then you got Dragon Strike, his ultimate ability.
AKA he summons Shenron.
Yeah. He summons a spirit dragon which travels through the air in a line. It passes through walls in its way, devouring any enemies it encounters.
Yeah, and you know he's doing it because he yells some random gibberish you won't understand. Japanese.
I actually have to do a quick little research because it does not show headshot damage. So Overwatch headshot damage. Oh, it's ×2. All right.
Oh, fudge biscuits.
All right. So usually his Scatter Arrow will do about 75 damage per hit. His Sonic Arrow and his regular abilities will do about 125 damage on a headshot, do 250. Dragon Strike does about 200 damage per second. And it does not say how long it lasts.
Well, you know that thing, it just goes until it's off screen.
No, it does.
Usually.
It stops.
Yeah, I'm saying it usually lasts a good little bit, though. I see that thing moving for at least 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, but it still is dangerous. Now, let's look at the other sniper.
Widowmaker. The eye candy.
Her gun is called a Widow's Kiss. It's a regular sniper rifle that can also be used as a bit of a automatic rifle. But it pretty much, you can either zoom in and be able to charge up a shot to release, or just use it as like a small submachine gun.
Basically, it's a Spartan laser.
Yes, then she has a grappling hook that allows her to latch onto buildings and ledges and be able to pull herself towards them. She can deploy mines onto the ground or walls to be able to explode whenever somebody comes nearby. And it also delivers poison gas to any enemies in the vicinity. So it doesn't even need to just be the explosion. It can just be hitting their first line target and then have their allies coming in from behind.
Now, I feel like she could be a support, honestly, especially with her ult, giving you the ability to see through walls and stuff for everybody.
Her ult, yeah, I was just about to say her
However,
ult
it's useless because you can't shoot through walls with her.
Yes, but it's also about positioning.
Yeah, it is about positioning. However, there are characters that'll easily make quick work of how she plays. For example, she'll probably never hit a real good tracer.
But I mean, it's also, if you have a Bastion on your team, then they know where to position themselves. So you start mowing
that's
them
what
down.
it is. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, for her, I would consider her a support character.
Yeah.
In that sense.
But looking at her abilities, her sniper rifle does a maximum of 150, so that means a headshot does 300 damage, which does more damage than Hanzo. However, I do believe
has to charge it.
Well, he kind of has to charge it too, but it takes less time.
His has an arc, so it's slightly better.
Her Venom mine does do 75 damage overall, so being able to do 75 damage to multiple enemies isn't bad. Infrasight does last for 15 seconds, though.
Yeah.
So
like
that
said,
15...
It's good for positioning, but it's better for her teammates than it is for her.
Well,
unless you need to know where you're going to put mines because you know where they're coming from.
Yeah, but especially because you can't exactly position yourself quickly, because her grappling hook has a 12-second cooldown,
which is insane.
Yeah. You can't just get immediately back into the action.
Alright, so...
we got two more. We got Junkrat and Torbjorn. Junkrat, or let's actually go Torbjorn first because I want to talk about Junkrat last. Torbjorn...
He's a druid.
Alright, so he has a passive ability of a scrap collector, gains scrap to gain resources, which is...
How do you get scrap? Is that just from killing people?
Whenever an enemy dies, they drop scrap. And every scrap you collect is 25 scrap out of 200. Kind of similar to a Reaper dropping souls.
Gotcha.
So
he can heal from
it. Torbjorn doesn't heal from it per se, but we'll get to that in just a second. He has a rivet gun for a gun.
Nail gun.
It fires rivets at long range, or it can eject molten metal from his gun in a short, close-range burst. Then he can, instead of just having a regular melee attack, as well as having a regular melee attack, he can switch to a forge hammer to use his hammer to build, upgrade, and repair turrets, which can also be used as a weapon.
With Symmetra.
Well, no, it can't use those sentries.
It says it can upgrade and repair turrets, right?
His own turret that I was just about to get to. He constructs an enemy trekking autocannon. He can use his hammer to upgrade it, increasing its health and adding a second cannon barrel.
AKA making it deal double damage.
Yes. Now, the scrap is mostly for using to create an armor pack, which makes him a good defensive character, because he deploys an armor upgrade. Either he or his allies can pick it up to absorb some damage. The armor, unlike natural armor from other characters, this armor does not come back, but it gives you a total of 75, which is not half bad. So combined with Symmetra and Torbjorn, that's 100 extra health that you can get for anybody.
And Lucy only get 500.
Mm-hmm. His ultimate ability is described as after overheating his personal forge, he gains a significant amount of armor, attacks, and builds and repairs turrets far faster than normal, and his turret is upgraded massively for the duration. Now let's look a bit at the stats because there's a lot of stats on him. The Molten Core the armor pack gives you 75 armor. Using Molten Core gives him a personal use of 300 armor for 12 seconds. And it lasts for 12 seconds. His turrets do about 2 rounds per second for 14 damage. When you upgrade them, they go to 4 rounds for 14 damage. And then at level 3, when you use his upgrade, it gets 5 rounds per second plus 4 rockets per second.
For 28 damage, basically.
Yeah. So
total.
Yeah, it's 9 times 14, so about 126 damage from his turrets.
It'd have to be 9 times 28, wouldn't it?
No, because it's the rounds per second plus the rockets per second, and they all do 14 damage.
Oh, okay.
And the turrets level 1 has 150 health, 300, and then 600 health when it goes
I don't know.
up.
I never see myself playing as this character.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't best for assault. What I know you like using assault characters a lot more. You don't like defensive. I can see myself using him because I enjoy turret using characters.
Yeah, but you would just pick the other guy. He's a better turret.
No, he has a lot better turret. I mean, I don't think we actually looked at her turret. Her turrets only deal 25 damage per second.
But she can put sticks up.
So?
I'm just saying, and they're better placed.
But they have 1 health.
Yeah. But like you said, how many kills did you get off those turrets, though? Because they're hidden.
I got 53 with Torbjorn.
You didn't tell me that.
I did.
Just now.
I told you. I texted you this. All right, now our last defense hero, which is Junkrat, which honestly, from what I have seen, he is a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
In the lore. But I actually believe that he is one of the most underrated characters.
He's a Super Saiyan.
Like, I don't believe that he's one of the best characters, but I do not think that he is as low on a tier list as people say he is.
Where is this tier list anyway?
Alright, so he has a passive ability of when he dies, he drops grenades.
Basically, suicide drop. No, death from the grave drop.
Yeah. So his basic shooting is he pretty much lobs grenades with a grenade launcher, and they actually bounce and blow up when they strike an enemy or after a certain amount of time. His he also has 2 different types of traps. One is pretty much a bear trap. When an enemy wanders too close, it clamps on him, injuring and immobilizing. Then he also has a concussion mine, which he can trigger. You hit it once to put it down, and hit it again to activate it to send him flying or propel himself through the air. His ultimate ability is he puts down a tire bomb, which you then control to roll across the battlefield, climb over walls and obstacles, and be able to jump with it. And then you remotely detonate it to seriously damage enemies. Or you can just wait for it to explode on its own. So, his frag launcher does 120 damage.
You can get a 300-point explosion from him dying.
Yes. Total mayhem is 300 max. Riptire, 600 damage. Steel Trap, 80 damage. Concussion Mine, 120 damage. He does a lot of damage. I mean, his frag launcher does 1.66 rounds per second. That's fairly fast compared to a lot of other characters.
Especially for a rocket type launcher.
And it's an explosion. It's not dealing 100... If they're clumped up, it's not doing 120 damage to a single character. It's doing 120 damage to everyone in that gets hit by an explosion.
It's area of effect.
Yeah. So He is.
I can see how he's underrated. I guess people just don't like him.
No, the thing is that it's just that it's very early, so people only play characters that they can pick up easily. He requires, I would say, a lot of practice in order to perfect him.
Honestly, I don't see that being the case. I don't think he would be that hard to use. I think people just don't take the time to use. Because, like, okay, some people just are good with area of effect characters or people who are good at explosives. Like, for me, I can throw a good grenade. A bounce grenade, anyway. Because if the grenade stops right where I throw it, we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Halo, it's like, in Halo, everybody would use sticky bombs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with me, I stick to standard grenade because I like bouncing them off of walls and going into the corners and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just good at it. So some people would be good at them. I just feel like some people just listen too much to what other people have to say about the character to make their own opinion.
Well, the only people that I've seen talk about Junkrat have only been praises about him.
True, but you said there's a tier list, right? And he's low on it, right?
Well, people don't pay attention to tier lists. I'm just saying of what I learned from that. And I don't agree fully with tier lists usually.
Tier lists are BS.
But this tier list that I saw a lot of things that I could agree on after reading through their descriptions. But it just looked like the person that made the tier list and the information they got on Junkrat just was not enough. Actually, let me double check on that. If I just go into Overwatch tier list,
there's a tier list for everything.
there is a May 2016. Let me just see where Junkrat is on this list. Because I believe their biggest... They actually have a lot of tier 2s. What? This is... Oh, this is because... Alright, so God tiers. Oh, wait, no. Junkrat is top tier. Okay, then. Well, then. I guess this is updated or something. This is not what I remember. So they have a tier 1, tier 2, and a god tier. Tier 1s are Bastion, Torbjorn, Tank, Diva, Genji, Reaper, and Symmetra. Tier 1 are Hanzo, Mei, Roadhog, Zarya, Pharah, Soldier, 76. Okay, 76. Why do I keep saying 74?
I said 76
Mercy
and then 67.
Zanya.
And then 42. I don't know where I got any of those numbers.
And then
76 was right.
These god tiers are Lucio, McCree, Tracer, Winston, Reinhardt, Junkrat, Widowmaker. I
totally disagree with this list.
Yeah. I mean,
in all honesty.
There's a couple things I can think of.
I disagree with Tracer being god tier. That's for a fact.
I am looking at they have like a few team comps that are very good. I can agree with a few of these, like Mercy plus Roadhog with like
Reinhardt.
Vanguard. There's a Vanguard, which is a Torbjorn plus Bastion, which is also pretty great because just double turrets. Or just throw in a Symmetra and you just got a lot of defense right there. Game changers, there are just pretty much a lot of the game changer builds are just people just using their ultimates. Then you got Search and Destroy, which is Hanzo and Widowmaker using their locations. Best heroes in any game mode: Hanzo, Pharah, McCree, Roadhog, and Mercy. Whatever.
Kind of agreeable. Kind of.
I mean,
they ain't give Reaper enough respect.
Alright, so, but our top 2 picks for defense in no particular order, I would say Bastion and Junkrat, just because they do so much damage.
Me, I was going to have to go with Hanzo and Bastion.
Alright.
For me.
I can't understand the Hanzo, it's just that I just think that Junkrat just... It just requires like placement that that I guess is kind of hard to learn because you can't choose the map to learn all the time, so you have to continuously try to remember what is the best place for each map.
And these niggas was hating on my boy Reaper. They just mad because he looks
good. Alright, now we actually only got 3 left because we already won about Soldier 76, Reaper, and Tracer.
I don't think we talked about Soldier 76 that much.
We did. We talked about all his abilities.
Before the podcast.
We did it during this one.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. McCree is awesome.
Well,
I love Genji too, but McCree was a monster to fight.
All right, so Genji here, he is actually lore-wise, he is the brother to Hanzo, and he can both climb walls as well as him, but he can also jump. He can also double jump, pretty much. His basic attacks, his basic and alternate attacks are either he throws 3 stars in succession, or he throws three of them in a wider spread. He has a E ability, which he is able to deflect bullets to send it rebounding towards his opponent, which used to be just towards the opponent that shot at him, which was overpowered as hell because it would do it to everybody. But now it's just to whatever he is pointing at.
To be fair, though, that could still be overpowered.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. He gets sniped at, he puts that up, and he's aiming at somebody who's fighting his teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, they're getting headshot with a snipe. In all honesty, it's technically almost a buff, in a sense, for people who are accurate.
Alright, so his other abilities are the Swift Strike. He darts forward, slashing with his katanas, passing through foes in his path. If he eliminates a target, he can instantly use this ability again. But the thing is that it only does 50 damage, so you have to kind of make
sure it's the kill.
Right. Then his ultimate is Dragon Blade. He brandishes his katana for a brief period of time until he sheathes the sword. Genji can deliver killing strikes to any targets within his reach. I don't exactly see what it means by instant kills, but he does do 120 damage per swing, and he does 1 swing per second. So I guess it's just because it's a wide range attack.
Yeah,
is what it's getting at.
Yeah, and then he needs somebody shielding him though while he's doing it, because he can still be hurt.
Yeah. So what makes him a good offensive character, I would say, is because his little dash ability that he can use if used timed right, as well as the deflect, because he can still walk forward with it, so he can be able to avoid damage while getting into like cover or moving forward.
And he can also kill you just for shooting at him.
Yeah. So if you're a Hanzo or a Widowmaker and you're trying to headshot him, be very careful about that.
Don't even try it, honestly, because sometimes I swear.
No, make sure that you're aiming at the back of his head and not looking into his eyes, because
I swear sometimes these niggas be knowing. You would think that they were screen hooking even though they're not even on the same screen,
or they were just being shot at by somebody else and you took a wrong shot.
Yeah.
All right, next we got McCree, the cowboy vigilante. He has a 6-shot pistol, which he can either do 1 shot per second, which is about 70 damage per shot, and it's actually pretty fantastic. And then there's also or he can choose to unload them all at once to still do 70 per shot. But I honestly don't. The only reason why you would do the regular basic attacks is because you cannot headshot using the alternate fire.
However, you're going to most likely die from 70 times 6 damage.
Yes, 70 times 6 is indeed 420.
Yeah, most characters are going to die. Yeah, exactly. Most characters are going to die from him doing that.
But I mean, at the same time,
it's only going to use Peacekeeper against tanks.
Usually, yeah. So if you're playing as a McCree, I would suggest try to just use his alternate fire as much as possible, because it unloads it in 1 second. It's pretty much you using all of his shots, anyways.
Yeah, it's basically
tracer
on drugs.
His shift ability is a combat roll, so he rolls in a direction. It doesn't look like a roll from your perspective, but in the animation it does look a lot like a roll from the outside.
Yeah, you don't want your camera to flip.
And then he has the annoying ability of a flashbang, which if you've played any Call of Duty game against a flashbang, you
already know what that's gonna do.
Yeah, it's just annoying to have flashbang. I mean, usually flashbangs aren't that bad. It's just they're more annoying to me. Then his ultimate ability, which honestly I cannot, for the life of me, pull off. The description is focus, mark, draw. McCree takes a few precious moments to aim. When he's ready to fire, he shoots every enemy in his line of sight. The weaker targets are, the faster he'll line up a kill shot. I heard that from when I was playing as him that you had to lock on, but apparently that lock on button was just pulled off instantly. So I guess it's just like put your cursor over them. I guess I need to practice that ability more, but I do see him as he is a pretty strong character. And last but not least, we got Farah,
aka Black Samus.
So, she has a passive ability of when you use your jump button, you can hold your space bar down and you can hover for a short time. But because it also refills while you're in the air, you can like slowly descend as well. You have a rocket launcher, which launches rockets that deal significant damage and a wide blast radius.
That's a regular.
Her shift ability is jumping through the air, which goes well with the hover, so that she can almost land on pretty much any ledge in the game. Concussive blast. She lets loose a wrist rocket that knocks back any enemies it strikes. And then Barrage, or as I like to call it, America!
Or Morrigan.
Well, Farah,
she
pretty much just she just like unleashes a little barrage of rockets. Now the damage is pretty nice. The rocket launcher 120 per shot with about 1 RPS. Not as good as Junkrat's, but it doesn't bounce. So Junkrat's is for like positioning. Hers is just for like immediate damage. Then Concussive Blast does a knockback. Barrage does about 30 rockets per second and does about 40 to 60 damage per rocket. So, excuse me, let's look at that minimum real quick. 12,100 damage.
It must miss a lot.
Well, it's tons of rockets. So, of course. And it lasts for 3 seconds. So, if you manage to somehow land every single rocket, you have dealt 3,600 damage.
AKA, you killed an entire team of tanks.
After the Lucio uses it. Not really, but... Yeah, pretty much, that is enough damage to literally wipe out an entire team of Roadhogs.
The only problem I've seen with her ult is most people are able to run away from it.
Yeah, I mean, the rockets you can see coming, but but she is like...
Now, if you're indoors and she's above you, if she goes and shoots him down...
Yeah, but
there's a problem.
The thing about Farah is that with her jumping abilities, she jumps onto a ledge to a place that you can't see her, and then she does it.
Yeah, but most people will catch her doing it because you'll see her go by. Most people who play Farah online aren't stealthy. That's the problem.
Well, the thing is that people think that a lot of these maps are just straightforward, which they really aren't. There are tons of side back alleys.
And everything.
I mean, literally, if you explore, like, there are some maps where you change to a different objective after, like, there you have one objective, and then, like, you have to go, and then, like, you win that, you go back to another spawn point, and then you go to another objective, right? If you explored that map thoroughly, you'll see that it's still connected to that same point. It's just that people don't look hard enough because
they just go straight for wherever the enemies are. That's why.
Yeah, like that's why this game, I would say, is best played in a team deathmatch scenario
with people you know.
But we should just about end this now. We've gone an hour and a half of this, but
right,
I mean,
so basically our top 2 for this section: McCree and Reaper.
Yeah, I would figure you were going to say Reaper. I was wondering why you were hesitating.
Because I'm thinking, I was deciding if it was going to be Soldier or Reaper. for me.
I would go with Pharah for one, and for the other, just.
Better say Reaper.
I mean, I can see Reaper.
Death Blossom. We all know.
But I mean, this isn't about. Or okay, yeah. For best characters overall, I would say Reaper. Yeah. But I mean, personal favorites, it would be Pharah and.
We're picking favorites. I'd have to go with Tracer, Reaper, Genji, and Mercy, and Diva, of course, as overall favorites, just for design purposes.
Yeah, but that'll wrap it up for us. We just went through things, just got you guys to know
the soldier.
But that was just us going through the list, talking about their stats, and giving our opinions.
Basically, giving you guys the heads up. Make sure you get this game though. We're not sponsored. We're not telling you this because we're paid to. This game is actually going to be awesome.
You can tell that we're not paid to do this because we literally have only 2 subscribers. I don't even know if more than 3 people are going to see this episode either.
Put that name Overwatch on it.
All right.
Most likely will get some views.
Shut up. All right. Anyways, thank you for watching or listening. Feel free to like and subscribe. Share this to any other Overwatch fans that you think that they should learn a bit more about characters before they play.
If you like MOBAs and you like first-person shooters, Overwatch is the game for you.
Oh, definitely. I honestly do not like that many FPS games, but
same.
This definitely is one of the few FPS games that I will definitely invest more time in.
It's one of the FPS games that needs a fucking movie or TV show.
Plus, it also is by one of my favorite companies, so I am a bit biased in that regard. But other than that, I mean...
And here's the thing. I'm not even a Blizzard fan, and I love this game.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people are Blizzard fans, but they still are going to play this game. But, however, I will try to see about getting a game called Battleborn and seeing how well that can compare to Overwatch.
That Borderlands MOBA.
Because I have heard that...
Everybody's trying to get that MOBA money.
Well, while Battleborn is not the same thing as Overwatch overall...
It's got a story mode.
Well, that's not the only thing. There's a lot of different gameplay aspects. But it is currently the biggest contender, especially because the opening of beta was lined up to the release date of Battleborn. So it was a kind of a dick move, but it was also very strategic for getting your game out as well. Because you already had all this hype, so you're letting people try out this game while ignoring another game.
Yeah, hopefully I want both of them to do well.
Yes.
I'm going to try Battleborn as well. And I'm going to see which one I like more. So far, Overwatch got me hooked, though.
Yeah, but that's because we haven't played Battleborn. We've played Overwatch.
My thing is, though, for Battleborn, I like the way Overwatch looks better. And that's because I'm not a big fan of that style.
But the biggest thing that Battleborn has for them is that if you play the game and look at the gameplay, it's a lot of clusterfuck of colors. There's almost literally a clusterfuck of colors everywhere. But we'll have the
rainbow game.
But the gameplay itself will definitely be a bigger determining factor because it's not a game that you can watch. It's more of a game that you can play, just in this kind of genre.
That's a big deal in my opinion. It's like for me though, being an artist, I have to be aesthetically pleased first.
Definitely.
And I'm not aesthetically pleased by Battleborn. However, I'm still going to give the game a chance. Just like I do with everything that I actually want to be good. So it better not disappoint. That's all I'm saying.
So we'll see you guys next week on our regular podcast. We may not make this a weekly podcast, but we will be talking about if something ever important comes up in like patch notes or something.
You mean like Mighty Number 9 getting a release date?
So maybe something along those lines. Stop playing with that. You're making noises.
Oops.
But yeah, that'll be it. This is Wolf.
This is Jostar.
And we're signing out.